Hello, my dear students. Yeah, what's up? Are you doing okay? Are you doing well? Okay. Our lesson today is grammar. We're going to talk about the present perfect simple. So, why do we use the present perfect simple? How do we form it in the affirmative, negative, or interrogative? We're going to learn all of this in today's lesson. So let's begin studying and learning together. So what is the present perfect simple? Let's have a look at the following examples. I have been to Aqaba twice. Have been. This should be in the small letter case, right? Good. Lina has tidied her bedroom. Has tidied. So as you can see, we have subject, which is I here, and Lina here. Then we have a verb. That verb is an auxiliary verb. It could be have or it could be has. Then we have a main verb, but our main verb here is in the past participle form, or some people call it verb 3. So it is verb in the past participle form or verb 3. So again, I have been to Aqaba twice. Lina has tidied her bedroom. Now, why do we use the present perfect simple? We use the present perfect simple to, number one, to talk about activities and events in the past when we don't know or not interested in exactly when they happened. We don't know the time, or we don't want to say the time. So, for example, some experts have suggested Machu Picchu was a prison. Can you tell me when? Is it mentioned in the sentence in which year? For example, in 1992 or in 2020? It is not mentioned. So when we don't know the time, or when we are not interested in telling the time, we can use the present perfect form. Now, number two. When the result of an activity in the past is still obvious. So the activity happened in the past, but I can still see the result. It is there in front of me. So let's have a look at the following sentence. Amsterdam's Olympic Stadium has undergone many changes. So the changes happened in the past, but when I go to the stadium, I can still see them. So this is an event that happened in the past, but the result of it can be still seen and it is obvious. So, how do we form the present perfect simple? As I said at the beginning of the lesson, we want to learn how to form it in the affirmative case, in the negative case, and in the interrogative case or the question case. So, in order to form an affirmative sentence with a present perfect simple verb, we need to use at the beginning a subject. So our subject could be I, or we, you, they, or a proper noun, but in the plural case. After that, we use have with them and a main verb, but the verb is in the past participle, verb 3. So, I have taken. Then we use the complement of the sentence, or we write the complement of the sentence. What is the complement here? Pictures of the ancient city. Pictures of the ancient city. So, I have taken pictures of the ancient city. We have taken pictures of the ancient city. The students have taken pictures of the ancient city. So, let's write a sentence. I have taken pictures of the ancient city. Now, what about the other or the second group of subjects? He or she or it, or if we have a name of a person like Sami, or a proper noun like the student. These are singular third person pronouns or nouns, singular nouns relating to people. And if we're going to use them in the present perfect tense, simple tense, we need to use has, not have. So, he has, then the complement, he has taken pictures of the ancient city. She has taken pictures of the ancient city. It has, of course we can't say it unless we're talking about a camera, for example. It has taken pictures of the ancient city. Sami has taken pictures of the ancient city. The student has taken pictures of the ancient city. Let's write a sentence. So here we have, so let's say the student so here let's rewrite it. The student. Do we say have taken or has taken? Very good. The student has taken pictures of the ancient city. So, the student has taken pictures of the ancient city. Now, we have learned together how to form the affirmative sentence or statement with the present perfect sentence. Now let's move to the negative form or the negative sentence. So, in order to form a negative sentence using the present perfect tense, we need to write not after the auxiliary verb have and before the main verb in the past participle form. Can we use short forms? Of course. So we can say instead of have not, haven't, haven't, and a verb in the past participle form. Then, of course, we write the complement of the sentence. So let's have a look. I have not learned about monuments. Have not, or we can say haven't. They, for example, have not learned about monuments. The students have not learned about monuments. So, let's write this sentence here. The students haven't learned about monuments. Where is the verb? Very good. Haven't learned. Is it affirmative or negative? Very good. It's a negative verb. Okay. What about number 2 or the second part? When we have he or she or it, third singular pronouns, third person singular pronouns, or when we have a name of a person or a proper noun, a singular proper noun. Very good. We use has plus not. Here we should write not. Then we use a verb. So has not, or we can make it a short form, hasn't. And we use the verb in the past participle case. So, he has not or hasn't learned about monuments. She hasn't learned about monuments. The student hasn't learned about monument or monuments. Sammy hasn't learned about monuments. So let's write this here. The student what do we say here? Very good. Hasn't learned about monuments. Okay. So now we have learned how to talk about or how to form sentences in the negative form in the present perfect tense. Simple case, of course. Now we are going to learn how to make questions or how to form questions. So how do we form questions or the interrogative case? Okay, in the previous parts or cases, the sentence started with a subject. But in the question form or in questions, sentences usually start with the auxiliary verb have or has, depending on the subject. Of course, these questions are yes or no questions. So let's form a question together. Have, do you remember that the following pronouns or nouns take have? Very good. So have I done the homework assignment? Have you done the homework assignment? Have the students done the homework assignments? Have they done the homework assignment? So let's write this in a sentence. Or sorry, in a question. So let's choose green and let's write our first question. Have the students done the homework assignment? In questions, what do we normally write at the end of the question? Very good. We write a question mark. How can we answer this question? Of course, we can say, yes, they have, or no, they have not or haven't. Okay. What about the third person singular pronouns and names of people, proper nouns in the singular form? We use with them has, not have. So how do we form a question? Let's form it together. Has he done the homework assignment? Has she done the homework assignment? Has Sammy done the homework assignment? Has the student done the homework assignment? So let's write it. Has the student, not the students, singular, done the homework assignment? Okay. So the answer could be here. Yes, he has or she has. Or no, he or she hasn't. So we have now learned together how to form the present perfect simple in the affirmative sentences, in the negative sentences, and in the interrogative sentences or statements or the questions. Now we are going to look at the type of the verb that we use. Remember that we mentioned that we need to use verb past participle. What is a past participle verb? Or what is the past participle verb? The past participle verb is the third form of the verb. So for example, a verb like take. What is the second form or the simple past form of it is took. What is the last one or the third form or the past participle form? It is taken. So take, took, taken. Take, took, taken. So taken, the third form, is the past participle verb. So the past participle verb can be regular. And what do we mean by regular verbs? Regular verbs are normally verbs that take ed when we change them to the past. So for example, I have visited the citadel before. The second one is irregular, and the irregular verb is a verb that changes totally when we change it to the past participle form. So we say irregular the past participle form of the verb take is taken. Take, took, taken. He has never taken piano lessons. He has never taken piano lessons. Now let's take some examples of the irregular verbs. So for example, we have catch, coat. What is the past participle of it? Coat. Put, put. It remains the same. Take, took, taken. Become, became, become. So here we're talking about the past participle form of irregular verbs. Now, what about the adverbs that we see in the sentence? Are there any adverbs or keywords that indicate that I need to use the present perfect simple? The answer is yes. These keywords are before, just, ever, never. So let's have an example with before. I have been to Qatar before. I have been to Qatar before. My mom has just cooked منسف. Now it is the word just. But before we move to just, let's go back to before. You will notice the difference between before and just. Look at before. Where is the place of before? It is at the end of the sentence. But what about just? Where do we put just? It is here, between the auxiliary verb has and the main verb, the past participle verb cooked. So we can't say, for example, mom has cooked منسف just. This is wrong. It is usually in the middle. What about ever and never? Have you ever watched a basketball match? So here we have, what is this, by the way? It is a question. So we use ever in questions. Be careful. And where do we use it? We use it between the subject and the verb in the past participle case. Have you ever? Have the students ever? Have we ever watched a basketball match? Now, what about never? Look at the following sentence. I have never made a snowman. I have never made a snowman. What does it mean? Have you made a snowman or you haven't made a snowman? It's a negative sentence. So never usually indicates negation. So we use never for negative sentences or statements, whereas we use ever with questions. So again, if we look to the slide again, these are the keywords or the adverbs that we use with the present perfect tense. So they are again before, just, ever, and never. Before, just, ever, and never. Now, we're going to have some exercises after we talked about affirmative, negative, questions or interrogative, and the adverbs or the keywords. Are you ready? Okay, if you are ready, then you need to go to your students' books with me. It's going to be page 63, and we're going to start with exercise number 1. What does exercise number 1 want you to do? We have 3 columns. This is column A1 or A, this is column 2 or B, and this is column 3. In each column, there is an odd word or odd verb. So find the odd verb in each column. Let's read the columns together. Began, taken, was, knew. Which one is the odd one? Began, taken, was, or knew? What do you think? So, have you found the answer? It is was. Why? Because all of the other verbs are past participle verbs, but was is a verb in the second case or in the past simple form. Now, what about the second column? Build, carve, said, go. Build, carve, said, and go. Which one is the odd one? Can you tell me? Okay, it is carved. Why? Because all of the other verbs are irregular verbs, whereas carved is a regular verb. So carved is a regular verb. That's why it is the odd verb. Now, what about C? Been, came, done, written. Which one is the odd one? Very good. It is came. Why is it the odd one? Because been, done, written are past participle verbs, verb 3, but came is a verb in the past simple or simple past. So it is verb 2, whereas the others are verb 3 or verbs 3. Past participle verbs, simple past verb. Okay, good. I think this exercise is an easy one. Let's move to another exercise. Okay. This is the second exercise in page number 63. And the exercise wants you to complete this fact file with the correct form of the present perfect simple. Then listen and check your answers. So it's a listening exercise. Fact file, Angkor. It is located in Cambodia. Archaeologists find impressive monuments among its ruins. So, archaeologists what? Do we put has found or have found because it's a plural noun? So, very good. It is have found. Now, let's look at number 2. Specialists conclude that it was the largest pre-industrial city in the world. Specialists, again, it's a plural noun. So what's the right answer? Very good. Have concluded. Let's move to number 3. People left the city in 1431. French, Japanese, and UNESCO archaeologists work together to renovate the buildings of the city. A plural noun. So what's the answer? Very good. It is have worked. Have worked. Now let's have a look at number 4. The last one. Sorry. International tourism to anchor increase in recent years. What's the right answer? Here we have a singular noun, tourism, just tourism. So the right answer would be has increased. Okay. This is the D. Okay. So, have found, have concluded, have worked, has increased. So this is, or this was exercise number 2. Did you do it by yourself? Did you do it correctly? Well done. We're going now to move to another exercise. And that exercise is exercise 3 in your students' books, page number 63. Look at the pictures and we have an example. What are we going to do in this exercise? You're going to look at the pictures, these pictures. Then you're going to write sentences using the present perfect simple to ask and answer questions about what has and has not happened. So let's look at number 1. Yummy. This is pizza, right? I like it. Do you? We'll see. What you eat today? So what's the question that we form? What have you eaten today? Question mark. Now the answer is, here we have tick. So that means he ate pizza, not burger, right? We have cross here. So he hasn't eaten burger. So what do I say? I have eaten pizza today. This is the affirmative sentence. And here, I haven't eaten a burger today. Now let's look at number 2. We have clouds and rains or snow, but we have a cross, so it's going to be a negative one. And here we have a tick. So this is what? Rain. So let's see what the answer is. Can you first, before seeing the answer, do it by yourself? Try. Okay. Let's see now. Has it snowed all night? This is the question. I'm going to write Q. It hasn't snowed all night. This is the negative. It has rained all night. And this is the affirmative. So the answer or the right sentences here are, has it snowed all night? This is the question. It hasn't snowed all night. It has rained all night. Let's go back now and see number 3. Okay, now let's have a look at number 3. And here are the pictures for number 3. Have a look at them. So the question is, have you, or we're going to ask if you live in the countryside before. So we have here cross, and here we have a tick. So can you figure out or find out which one or how to answer it? What is the question going to be? And how to make an affirmative sentence or a negative sentence? Okay, let's have a look. So this is number 3. Have you lived in the countryside before? So this is the question. Now, I haven't lived in the countryside before. This is the negative statement. I have lived on the coast before. And this is the affirmative statement. Now, we'll go back to the last picture. Here. I can't read it from the board, so I'm going to look at my book. It says, Wasif by a broken car. Here we have a tick, and we have here a cross. As you can see in your book. So, what is the question and what is the negative sentence and the affirmative sentence? Let's have a look. So, the question is, has Wasif bought a broken car? This is the question. Wasif has bought a new car. It is an affirmative sentence. Wasif hasn't bought a broken car. This is the negative statement or sentence. Okay, that is exercise number 3. Please write the correct answers on your notebooks. And now we're going to move to exercise number 4. Exercise number 4 is page 64. So you need to bring your book again and look at exercise 4. What does the exercise want us to do? We need to read through the table, this table, then find one mistake in each sentence and correct it. So for example, she has explored the city. Explored the city. Can we say she have? This is the mistake. So the right answer is she has. What about sentence number 2 or sentence B? This one. They have ever been to Qatar. This is a negative sentence. So where is the mistake in it? Can we say they have ever? Can we use ever in the statements? It is used in questions. So what should we write instead of ever? Very good. We need to write never. So the correct word is never and the mistake is ever. What about C? Have you visited the old citadel before? Where is the mistake? It is visit. Have you? What is the verb form in present perfect simple? Is it verb 1, 2, or 3? Simple present, simple past, or past participle? Very good. It is past participle, so have you visited? Now, D. I not have read travel books, but I like adventure ones. I not have. This is a negative statement or sentence. How can we form the negative in the present perfect simple? We don't say I not have. We say I haven't read. So the right answer or the right word is haven't. Haven't read. Not have. Okay. What about E? Let's do it together. The students has learned about the monuments in Jordan. The students has learned. Very good. This is the mistake. We can't say the students has. We say the students have because it is plural. So instead of has, this one, we say have. And the last one, or the last sentence, it is F. My father has took me to the museum twice. My father has took me to the museum twice. Oh my God, where is the mistake? Very good. It is took. Can we say my father has took? We say take, took, and taken. So past participle verb here is taken. So we write taken. So let's have a quick look again at the exercise and read it with the correct words. She has explored the old city. They have never been to Qatar. Have you visited the old citadel before? I haven't read travel books, but I like adventure ones. The students have learned about the monuments in Jordan. My father has taken me to the museum twice. So if we want now to revise what we have taken to make a conclusion, let's look at the following table. Our lesson was about the present perfect simple. In order to form the present perfect simple in the affirmative case, we need to use, of course, subject plus verb has or have plus verb in the past participle form and the complement of the sentence. So, you have never watched a movie in the cinema. If we're going to use third person singular pronouns like he, she, or it, we don't use have, we use has. So, he has never watched a movie in the cinema. Now, what about the negative form or sentence? In the negative form, we use the same form, but we add not. Or we can make it a short form, haven't. So the sentence would be, you have not or you haven't watched a movie in the cinema. What about the third person singular pronouns and the singular nouns? We use has not or hasn't. So he has not or he hasn't watched a movie in the cinema. And what about the questions or the interrogative form? In the interrogative form, we start the sentence with have with have or has. Then we use a subject, an adverb if necessary, and like ever, for example, and then a verb in the past participle. It is a verb in the past participle form. So, have you ever watched a movie in the cinema? Has he watched a movie in the cinema? The answer here is yes, or the answer could be no, and we say yes he has, or no he hasn't. So, this is the end of our lesson. We learned together about the present perfect simple in the affirmative, negative, interrogative case. We'll see you in the next lesson. It's not going to be a new lesson. We're going to do the activities in our activity book. That's why I want you to prepare for the next lesson. So I want you to do the exercises in module 6. And these exercises are in page 47 in your activity book and page 48 and page 49. You could also look at page 50 because there are exercises in it. So we'll see you in the next lesson. Goodbye.